Hey guys, how's she going today? Well, I've got a bit of a different project on the go here. Oh, you're not allowed to see that. I'll just cover that up over there. No, anyway, we are working on the towing truck. We got a few things we wanted to do here. Well, it's got to go get an inspection done since it's from out of province. So I'm trying to get the emergency brake to work again because it doesn't want to grab. I think it's just out of adjustment. And we had to fix a couple clearance lights on it, but that was all it needed. And then just some normal servicing, oil change. It needed a fan belt. It was pooched. And then we're making a few things on here, and we put a block heater cord on because that was missing. And yeah, first thing I want to do, we're going to put a piece of square tubing on here, not too long, and then a piece of rod. And then when you've got the flat deck hooked up behind with the bales, because the bales are sticking out like this, so you can't see anything out of your mirror when you got to make your left-hand turn across the highway. So I'm going to put a mirror out, something about like this, down low on the bumper so you can look under the bales behind you, is my plan. And then we're putting a headache rack on so that when you've got bales on the deck here, they're not up against the back of the cab. If you remember this summer when we were hauling hay, we were putting 5 of them on here and they'd be up against the back of the cab. So we're going to put that headache rack on, and then we've got our beacon light and 2 amber lights that way as well. And then I'm going to put a couple white lights shining back onto the deck. And then that kind of gets us into the next part of what we're going to do here. And you can see here we've got a hose spool and a 25 gallon per minute fuel transfer pump. It's a, the hell is it again, GPI. And I got that pump, well, it all came in a set here, made in the US of A, so second best to being made in Canada anyway. That'll piss someone off. Anyway, 25 gallon per minute, came with 18 feet of 1-inch hose and the automatic shut-off nozzle and everything. It was $950. Regular was $1,300 on sale, so we're gonna put that on. I'm painting this deck black because most of the paint's gone on it, and I really don't like that color. And then on the back here, it was open like that, and there's no support with the way he's got this deck made. No support at the corner out here, so it wants to sag real bad when you put any kind of weight on it. So I cut some angle irons here, and I'm going to weld them in place, and this is a 2x10. I'm going to put a few bolts through here and then bolt it through this board, a few across, and then it'll be solid. I've got my little jack under there to square everything up because it was sagging pretty bad. Square all that up, and then this grandpa, when he used to use liquid fertilizer way back in the day, he had a 500 gallon tank that sat in that. So we're gonna trim the legs up so it sits tight to the back of the cab. And I'm gonna make it all as one big skid that you take on and off with the tractor. And we're gonna put a 500 gallon fuel tank and a 100 gallon gas tank behind it with a smaller pump. And then that 500 gallon tank, that's what that big pump is for. And it's gonna go right on the back there. And then this generator is gonna go like, I'll draw it in the dust here. This is gonna be the big fuel tank. There'll be a small gas tank. I'm gonna put the generator on this side and the portable air compressor on the other. And then that's what that big spool of air hose is for. I'm gonna mount that on the deck. Sorry, I got a bit of a runny nose today, but I'm gonna mount that on the deck, and it's 50 feet and you'll be able to reach anywhere to blow anything off, because I mean that's 90% of what we use the portable compressor for out in the fields, blowing the rads and everything out. So So that's all gonna get mounted together as one big piece, and then in the summer when you want to haul bales, it's just easy. Chain in 4 corners, lift it off. Want to use it for a service truck. Lower it back on. And I'm gonna make a cover here on hinges that shuts and covers up that big hole so it's all one big deck. Because when we go pick up our totes of Roundup and then our canola seed here, this spring I want to set it on this, because before I just had a little bumper hitch trailer behind the truck, and all of that was way more than what that little trailer was designed to haul. So this will just be better, and then that way with the fuel on it and everything, it'll be a one-stop shop for the air seeder. So anyway, I'm going to get doing some shit on this, and I'll talk to you again here in a bit when we got something kind of put together. Kind of a side note, I know it's handwriting signature. It's always kind of different to try to read. But it's G-U-Y, and it's not Guy, it's Guy. French. I figured I'd just say that way there's no confusion. I'll say it in this video, and I'll say it in the next one again too, just so everyone knows how to say it, and they know what his name was that way. So, but everything's all kind of put together, minus this side shield, because I got it some work to do on the starter yet, but other than that, there's your little glimpse.
You don't need that much going down.
Not a lot.
It's going to be...
Probably what?
Yeah. 10 inches? 10 inches? Well,
10.
That'll be hot. Those come up.
Longer's better than too short. Oh yeah, that's right. Listen to those glass packs howl. getting it out of the way here so I can cut my 2x8 and my 2x10 that are going in the headache rack there to fill in the gap. So, 'tis the plan anyway. Okay, update time and end of the video time and everything else. So we got the headache rack all welded up with the extensions put on it, and those pieces of iron there I'll go show you after, but they go on the front of the deck to bolt it on. And I welded in some 2x3 angle iron in here to hold these two boards to fill in that gap, because this was originally made for on the box of a truck. So since there's no box of the truck for it to sit on, we had to raise it up. So there's a big gap there behind the cab. So we've got that. I'm going to finish bolting all that and paint it. Got all the lights off of it and the wiring figured out. And got all our strips of iron made. These are going on here. One on each side. 3 bolts and then a piece of chain. And one in the middle up to the deck of the truck. These strips here are going on the top of them. Like that. There's going to be 4 of them to lower this down enough from the deck so it actually does something. So that's going to drop it. I'll show you underneath here. I'll take one to show you. I booted it outside, well, as you've seen there, because I mean, it takes up most of my space in here. But and then I put this mirror on the front, and you just undo these. Slide it out to the stopper, tighten them up again. And then when you're sitting in the truck driving, when you have bales in the trailer behind you, well, they stick out here and you can't see out of those mirrors anything behind you. So when you gotta make a left-hand turn across the road, you're taking your life in your hands because you don't know what Yahoo retard's gonna be trying to pass you. Turn out in front of them, it won't be a good day for anyone. So put this mirror on. I put on this little clearance light and then heat shrink everything, seal it all up with silicone. And strips of reflective tape so everyone can see it when they're coming. The deck is all nicely painted black. I got to put another coat on it yet when it gets back in the shop again. But and then we got our 2 glass packs on there. Sounds a hell of a lot better than the stock mufflers. And then these strips, they're going to bolt on just like that, 4 of them. Oh, not on that one, whatever, up here I guess. And lower them down enough in front of the wheels here so that you know, they actually do something, because otherwise instead of them being level with the back ones there, they're up here. So looked kind of dumb. And then I made and welded on these straps on the mud flaps here to hold them in place, because before, with nothing there, going down the road, they'd be sticking straight out like this and doing nothing. And they're so long, when you'd back up in tall grass or stubble, or if you ever got stuck trying to back up or in deep snow, it would pull them up right up against the back tire and try to rip them off. So I've got holders front and back on them on both sides. And then I made these here to cover up the hitch. So that way when you're walking on the deck using it just as a flat deck, you don't have a big hole here to fall into. And then when you have the trailer hooked up, obviously that one stays open, but you can still shut that one. So that front one would be open, hooked up, but then you'd have that one shut, and I don't know, it just looks cleaner. So anyway, I made that. And what else do we do? We got these boards put on the back here. Everything's bolted through, and then these angle irons to hold everything solid, because before the deck you push on the corner here and they'd flex like I had said. What else have we done? I'm still in the process of doing it because I need to get the fuel tank and everything mounted on here yet. That 25 gallon per minute pump and whatnot, but it's not a finished product. But I've got this made for the switches. This is going to be this one over here will be the beacon light and that orange light. This is going to be the white field lights. And this one's a secret. But I gotta finish, I'm gonna do that all up a lot nicer than just wires everywhere like that. I'll put some nice black plastic covering on it and then run it down through the floor. But other than that, oh, that's the other thing Antoine did. I'm trying to remember everything we've done here. It's got 2 fuel tanks, one on each side. And it used to be with that auxiliary switch over there, you'd flip it side for side, whichever tank you wanted to suck from, and it didn't work anymore, and that cost too much to replace with the proper switch. So he's got this manual switch valve here. So if you want to suck out of one tank or the other when one gets dry, you flip it and then it sucks from the other side. I don't know if you can't really see it, but anyways, it's there's a T like this, and one hose sucks from this tank, one from that tank, and then there's your turn valve, and then your hose that goes to the engine, then you just turn it to whichever tank you want, is what he's got set up. But anyway, that's going to be the end for this video, and then when I get the rest of her put together, that'll be the second part of this little 2-step program. So anyway, I guess hit that like button, subscribe for more. We'll talk to you in the next one.